What is LifeWorks? LifeWorks is a nonprofit that I started a few months ago here at PV. It's centered around empowerment through education, financial literacy, and most importantly, spirituality, man. I think all three of those things are important, especially in minority communities. So I felt the need just to start put things together to make sure that we're addressing some of those needs in the best way that we can, and doing it right now in college is most important so we can have that impact on the youth and the high school students and incoming freshmen. What inspired LifeWorks, man? I think my life story really inspired LifeWorks. I grew up on a rough side of town a little bit. My mom moved me to a better side of town, so I got to see both ends of how people were living. And when I got saved, my coach, I got saved through FCA. He was just so adamant about the gospel and sharing the gospel, and he put me around people who were real about their relationship with God. And I loved that about those people. I mean, they didn't sugarcoat it. It wasn't like Bible covered up. It wasn't anything like righteouser than thou. It was just like real, genuine people. And so being around people who were fired up about their relationship with God really inspired me to do the same. And so when I started taking places in FCA, when I started stepping up to leadership roles in FCA, it was something that I could do natural. It was a blessing. I wasn't hesitant to speak in front of my peers. I wasn't hesitant to talk about the Word of God to anybody. And so when I think about what inspired LifeWorks, I think solely my relationship with God. I mean, I can't really restrain or withhold anything that God has done for me. I want to share that with everybody. And so I know growing up, I felt like there was nobody who could relate to me, that nobody would keep it real with me, nobody would really understand what I was going through. And so knowing that I had that mentality when I was young, I know that there are other young adults and peers of mine that have that same mentality. So LifeWorks came about because I wanted to help those in that mentality really escape from that mentality. And so I'm pretty sure LifeWorks was inspired by my relationship with the Lord, honestly. Where do you see LifeWorks in the future? Honestly, I see LifeWorks as one of the most biggest nonprofits to ever step foot in the inner city. I really want to change and shape lives in inner city high schools and even suburban high schools. I feel like LifeWorks is going to take over the world eventually, man, because we're all about genuine relationships. So building a relationship with kids, building relationships with young adults, and just helping them maneuver through this wild thing we call life. So eventually I want to see LifeWorks just take over as a major nonprofit, something like Boys and Girls Club, but I want the inspiration behind LifeWorks to remain new. So we're bringing in new talent, we're bringing in new people as we bring in the new generation, so we can continue to connect to the generations that are coming up. What does LifeWorks mean to you? LifeWorks means a lot to me. I mean, clearly it's a fashion statement. I have buttons, I have stickers. LifeWorks is about my relationship with the Lord. It's about me sharing my relationship with the Lord. Not sharing my relationship with the Lord, but sharing my relationship with other people about how my relationship with the Lord has changed my life. So LifeWorks literally is my everything, and not in an idealistic kind of way, but it's just we work in life, we work in life, man, and life isn't always meant for us to be working to make paycheck to paycheck to paycheck meet. But when the word says that faith without works is dead, we want life in our faith, so we work. Faith without works is dead. The opposite of dead is life. So we work. Life works. I mean, hashtag bar. Shout out to all the rappers, man. So yeah, that's what life works means. What do you enjoy most about LifeWorks? Honestly, the realness, man. People can come, and when we have little LifeWorks seminars, and we have LifeWorks Sunday meetings, people are just real. They come and they say, hey man, I'm struggling with smoking. Hey man, I'm struggling with pornography. Hey man, I'm struggling with my relationship with the Lord. How do we deal with this in this culture, in this context? And I feel like that's something that not all churches are touching on, man. There are a lot of churches who are doing a great job at it, But this culture, this generation, sometimes we feel isolated from the church. And so I think LifeWorks does a really good job at bridging that gap. And so what do I enjoy most about LifeWorks is simply the relationship building, man. I've gotten to build relationships with people who are, ex-gang members, build relationships with people who were addicted to drugs, build relationships with people who just got out of abusive relationships, and to see them revived and to see them renewed in their relationship with the Lord is such a blessing, man. I mean, that's really what I enjoy most about LifeWorks, just living for those moments when people say, I was a slave to this, or I was a slave to that, or this temptation had me stuck, and then they say, I'm free, man, and they're able to go and share that testimony. They're able to go and share their story with other people who are struggling with the same thing. So essentially, my community, instead of becoming crabs in a bucket, we become ants in a bucket, and ants help one another. Those are ants right there. Ants help one another get out of the bucket by climbing on each other's backs, and then using your support to help climb on another's and climb on another until we all end up out of this bucket, man.